crime and violence throughout the country. The project has already made a mark with drugs and weapons confiscated at several places, and arrests have been made. To chat to us more about this campaign, we are joined now by Acting Cabinet Spokesperson Phumla Williams, who's in our Pretoria studios. Thank you very much, Phumla. Thanks so much for joining us here on the program.
Good morning, Leanne, and thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's an
and
absolute
happy
pleasure.
Africa Day.
Most important.
And happy Africa Day.
Yeah, thank you very much. And it really is. It is a day we need to focus a lot on our continent and on how we as South Africans treat our fellow Africans within our borders. And I mean, when we go back to the beginnings of Operation Fiela, there was a massive call from the public for the army to come and to bring about peace when it comes to some of these xenophobic incidences. And of course, since then, it has grown even further. Talk to me more about the origins of Operation Fiela.
Thank you very much, Leanne. I think if I can start by saying that the Operation Fiela results have far exceeded our expectation. You will recall that slightly more than a month ago, we had plus minus 5,600 foreign nationals that were displaced in KZN, and later in Gauteng about 715 foreign nationals that were displaced, and violent activities that happened in those two areas. Today, Leanne, we are happy to report to South Africans that about 2,000 foreign nationals in KZN have been reintegrated back to the communities. And in Gauteng, out of the 715 foreign nationals that were displaced, we're happy to report that 500 of those foreign nationals have been reintegrated back to their communities. And I think we should really thank the municipality leadership that did their bit. We thank also the churches that did their bit. And we thank the communities themselves that did their bit. And yes, following that, the concerns that were raised by communities, which were ranging from drugs, illegal weapons, the Operation Fiela, which is a multidisciplinary intervention by government, has done exceedingly well. In fact, we can go as far as saying some of the illegal activities that were uncovered involved human trafficking, which was almost a breeding ground for the child abuse and also the prostitution. We also uncovered some of the drug dealings in some of the areas. We discovered some of the illegal weapons in these areas. And yes, we also discovered some of the undocumented foreign nationals. You will notice that in the briefing of the Interministerial Committee, they did point out that about 3,900 people were arrested to the date of the 17th of May. And of that, 2,000 and plus minus 2,000 were South Africans. But in those raids, we also arrested 1,650 of the undocumented foreign nationals that were in the country. And we are in the process of processing them.
Okay, let's talk about the issue that a lot of people have raised, is that the minute we see the army being recalled and moved away, that this just might spike up crime levels once again, and all the good work that they may have done might sort of go back in vain. What is your response to something like this?
I don't even think it is correct, Leanne, because the feedback that we've been getting from communities, they are very happy with the intervention that government is doing. And we should also point out that the Defence Force is there to support the work of the police. You will recall that some of the raid areas, we're dealing with people with weapons, and that we need to take some precautionary measures to minimize the criminality that can unfold as a result of the raids that are taking place. I should also indicate that some of the raids, Leanne, has also exposed some of the conditions under which some of the foreign nationals are staying, the buildings that are totally uninhabitable, and which are the things that are going to be taken forward by the Interministerial Committee moving forward. That yes, the fact that they are here illegally doesn't justify some of the owners of those buildings putting them in the most horrific structures that no human being should be allowed to stay in there. And as government, we are going to do exactly that in dealing with some of these buildings.
Yeah. Let's talk about human rights violations, because there's also been a lot of accusations leveled against Operation Fiela for abusing human rights. You know, what is your reaction to this?
Leanne, again, we want to dispute that. I think we did point out that this Operation Fiela is a multidisciplinary intervention. In that team, when they move in, there's also social workers. We strive as much as we possibly can to deal with these raids in the most humane way. You will note even in our statement, in some of the places, we even found children and the most vulnerable and women, and the social development kicked in. Some of the kids and the parents, the mothers that had children, were put in specialized environment to make sure that we are sensitive to the children. So from where we're sitting is that we've done all these raids in the most humane way, because at the end of the day, we are still saying we are not a xenophobic country. We are sensitive to dealing with the criminality without necessarily violating the human rights of the people that we interact with.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, when it comes to search warrants and all of the things that are needed to carry out these operations, do you have them? Do the army, when they go in, have these legitimate documents?
Yes, certainly, Leanne. I can also confirm that all these raids have complied with the requirements. The police have done their bit. The Defence Force has done its bit.
All right, let's leave it there. Thank you for talking to us here on the program, and for Operation Fiela, which is this government program aimed at curbing crime and violence in the country, and also trying to lower some of these areas that have got a lot of drug abuse and gangsterism as well, even though over the weekend we did see lives lost and some more violence taking place in some of the areas where this operation is taking place. We've been reporting on it in the news.